7 powerful ways to turn failure into success. Failing to succeed in whatever you've set out to do is tough. It will crush your confidence and you'll feel demotivated. If you don't stop feeling sorry for yourself, then you're going to have a hard time moving forward. In this presentation, I will show you powerful ways you can turn failure into success. Number 1. Make every failure count. Every time you fail, take it to mean as being one step closer to success. Think of it as closing in on your goal. The more often you fail, the faster you can reach your goal. Number 2. Think of your failure as a learning opportunity. Think of toddlers for a moment. They don't know anything, but with every mistake they make, they learn from it. By process of elimination, they're able to ascertain what they need to avoid and what they can continue doing. Number 3. Go over the reasons why you failed. Think about the steps you took and the decisions you made that led to your failure. Write everything down if you can. It will be easier for you to spot the exact moment your plan went wrong. When you've identified the factors, then you'll know to avoid them next time. Number 4. Get other people's opinions on what you could have done better. You're not doing yourself any favors if you keep your failures to yourself. Instead, gather around your closest family and friends and ask for their input on why they think you failed and what you could have done better. Number 5. Look forward to failing. This advice may not fit all situations, especially if it's literally your life that's hanging in the balance, but in less dire situations, looking forward to failing and learning from your mistakes will get you far in life. Number 6. Don't let failure define you. You don't want to be known as someone who let failure knock them down to the ground. If you do, people will bully you. That's what bullies do. They prey on the weak. So stand up with your head held high and show them that failure isn't going to stop you from chasing your dreams. Number 7. Be accountable to someone else. Make a promise to your parents, to your spouse, your kids, or anyone special in your life. When failure kicks you to the curb, you'll remember your promise and it will motivate you to continue fighting. In this presentation, you're going to find out how you can stop making excuses every time you fail. There are many reasons why people make up excuses for their failures. While it's true there's a reason or a multitude of reasons behind every failure, these shouldn't prevent you from continuing to face your challenges head on. Every time you justify failure with an excuse, you're taking a step backward. When you do that, you're putting even more distance between yourself and your goals. If you want to get closer to achieving your goals, you're going to have to stop making those excuses. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is acknowledge that you're hiding behind your excuses. You're using it as a shield to protect you from further failure. If you acknowledge what you're doing, then it's easier for you to address and eliminate these excuses. Now that you know you've got a problem with excuses, it's time to look for alternate solutions. Look at the big picture and see where you are on your roadmap to success. Draw up a plan. On one column, write down your past excuses so you can avoid using those again. On another column, write down the steps you need to take or the alternate solutions so you can achieve your goals faster. Focus on your strengths and try to use these as tools or weapons to help you get over to the other side of the finish line. Always be mindful of your weaknesses, but don't let it get in your way. Use your weaknesses as your motivation to further fuel your strengths. Use it to distance yourself from failure. Have the patience and the optimism to always bounce back from your failures. When you fail, take it as a challenge to dust yourself off and renew your enthusiasm to continue on with your journey. Don't continue laying down in the dirt. You'll soon be engulfed by it. Lastly, you have to commit to improving yourself every day. Teach yourself that it's okay to look back at past mistakes, but you don't have to get stuck with things that happened in the past. Again, always look to the future and your future successes in life. The 5 habits you need to avoid so you don't fail in life. Failures and mistakes are bound to happen while you're on your journey to achieving your life's dreams. There are plenty of positive habits you can develop to help you reach your goals faster. In this presentation, we'll take a look at the other side, the habits you need to avoid so you don't fail, at least not spectacularly. Number 1. Not planning thoroughly. Don't make vague plans. Overly general plans are not going to get you where you want to go. If you want to succeed, you're going to have to take the time to sit down and plan how exactly you're going to reach your goals. Make mini goals, weekly goals, monthly goals. Whatever you choose to do, make it easy enough to achieve. Number 2. Not rewarding yourself for every win. Having a reward system in place is important so you can continue motivating yourself. For every mini goal you achieve, you get a point in your win column. If you don't reward yourself, you don't get to savor your small victories. So cherish each win and celebrate it, no matter if it's just a chocolate bar or dinner at your favorite restaurant. Number 3. Giving in to distractions and temptations. If you know what your weaknesses are and you know it's going to stand in the way of your success, then think of how you can maneuver around them. It's easier said than done, though. You need to have the self-discipline to be able to reject all forms of distractions and temptations. Put blinders on, so to speak, so you can move forward at all times. Number 4. Making excuses for every failure. There's no room for excuses when you're chasing a dream. Every time you make an excuse is a setback toward reaching your goals. If you don't stop making excuses, then you're not going to get very far in life. What's even worse is when you start blaming others to cover up your failures. Take responsibility and learn from your mistakes. Number 5. Giving up too soon. Another bad habit that's standing in your path to success is giving up too soon. Giving up too soon means you're not ever going to see your plans come to fruition. You're never going to be able to reach your goals. Keep your eyes on the prize. Get up when you stumble and fall. And don't give up until you've exhausted all possible means to achieve your goal. In this presentation, you're going to know the top 10 lessons you will learn from failing. No one in this world can claim to not have failed at something. Everyone fails, that's a fact. Even the most successful individuals who are worth billions of dollars, they've all failed several times, probably more than the average Joe. But if there's one thing that separates successful people from not so successful ones, is that they've all learned from their failures. Let's learn from their examples, shall we? Here are the top 10 lessons you will learn from failing. Number 1. Failure is a great teacher. When you know the reason why you failed, then you know what to avoid the next time you attempt the same thing. In short, your failure has taught you what you should do and what you shouldn't be doing. Number 2. Failure brings you closer to success. When you try different ways to achieve your goal, but you continue to fail each time, it means that you're getting closer to your goal. It's just taking you longer to get there. Number 3. Failure encourages you to explore. When something's obviously not working, you look for another way to get to the other side. Number 4. Failure makes you thick-skinned. It's not so bad having thick skin. It just means you're more resilient and you don't shy away from failure. Instead, you use it as a stepping stone to success. Number 5. Failure makes you believe in yourself. Not many people may believe you if you think you're a failure, but if you're resilient, then it's so much easier to believe in yourself. Number 6. Failure helps build courage. Failing many times over and still choosing to continue with your path helps build courage. You'll double down and try new things until you achieve your goal. Number 7. Failure leads to opportunity. When you fail, you eventually find yourself facing a new opportunity. For instance, a failed relationship or business may lead you to a better one. Number 8. Failure makes you stronger. As a testament to your strength, you continue getting back up even when you failed and fallen several times along the way. Number 9. Failure lets you take stock of your life. When you fail, you learn to appreciate what you have and who you have in your life. Number 10. Failure humbles you. Failing several times over will knock the ego out of you. As a result, you tend to be kinder and more compassionate towards others. Why you shouldn't give up too soon. People give up for all sorts of reasons, with failure being chief among them. But is failure really such a bad thing? In this presentation, you're going to find out why you shouldn't be giving up too soon. Ask any successful individual what they did to get where they are now. Ask them if their success happened overnight, and if they experienced failure and defeat along the way. I'll bet my last dollar that all of them will tell you that they failed in one way or another before finally succeeding in their career, their business, or whatever industry or niche they ultimately found success in. Most people will only see the final product. They'll only see the successful version of people. What they won't see are the sleepless nights, the self-doubt, the tears, the anguish, and the pain of failing over and over again. Even with the passing of time, successful entrepreneurs and businessmen will never really forget what it took to finally arrive at their destination, their destiny. If they gave up after failing once, twice, thrice, or how many times they failed, they wouldn't have succeeded in their goals. If they succumbed to failure, instead of using that as motivation to push them forward, they would have ended up on the other side of the success spectrum, the loser side. But they persevered and ultimately ended up on the right side, the successful side. You'll find plenty of successful people who overcame failure and used it as a stepping stone to success. One such example is Bill Gates. We all know who he is, but what you probably don't know is that he watched his first company fail. If he let that failure affect him, if he gave up, then we wouldn't have Microsoft today. And he certainly wouldn't have ended up as one of the world's richest men. So you see, giving up too soon can literally cost you your future. If you're thinking of giving up now, please don't. Try exploring other avenues, other ways to reach your goal. If you're running out of ideas, think outside the box. The sooner you embrace failure and accept it as a fact of life, then the sooner you can move forward. Because the moment you give up is the same moment you pull the plug on your success.